The old ball coach has been there.
Don't mean to bring up a bad memory here, but watching that game last night, it reminded me of the number 1 versus 2 matchup when your Florida Gators faced Nebraska. Very similar, 1 versus 2, highly touted, things along those lines. Maybe the game didn't turn out the way people expected. You guys turned it around and won the whole thing the very next year. What is Alabama feeling right now, having lost a game of that magnitude in that
Well, they've
way?
won so many, I don't know how they feel, but they don't like losing, obviously, and they don't lose many, and that's one reason. 1 versus 2, Nebraska clobbered us in '95. That was one of the best college teams of all time. And then the next year was 1 versus 2, and we were on the good end of it.
Right.
So I feel pretty good. Yeah, I feel pretty good winning half of those.
By the time Steve Spurrier left Florida, the Gators had racked up 6 SEC titles to go along with that national championship. 5 times the 1966 Heisman Trophy winner took home Conference Coach of the Year honors. It was a 12-year run that put the Gators on a path they still travel today.
One of our players, when we had a reunion, he said it pretty simply. He said we could always play defense here at Florida, and then when Coach Spurrier came and put in some offense and we started scoring points, then we started winning. And it really was that simple. I inherited a loaded team at Florida back in the 90s, and we had a pretty good idea how to throw the ball and run the ball. College offenses have evolved into more of a pass game, but we ran the ball very effectively when we had those championship teams also.
Stints with Washington in the NFL and a good run back in college ball with South Carolina followed Spurrier's glory days in Gainesville. Away from the sidelines since 2015, though, one of the best college coaches of the last 30 years is back, looking to lead the Orlando Apollos in a league so enticing it lured the 73-year-old Tennessee-raised, Florida-born Spurrier back to the game.
Somebody said, what would get you back into coaching? I said, well, maybe something like an all-star game where you get a bunch of guys and you coach 1 game or 2 games. And so now we've got 8 teams, and we're all staying at the hotel. We're all practice for a month. We'll play 10 games, and then hopefully 2 playoff games. I always say that. Hopefully it's a 12-game season. And then we'll all go back where we're from. So it's basically a 4 to 5 month job for us coaches and players.
Much more with the old ball coach still to come in the near future. For now, for Sports Tonight, I'm Hector Ledesma.